Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jessica Ojeda from SELVA Inglés. I'm your online English teacher and this is the season premiere of Season 2, Hump Day Monday. What? Applause please, applause. Hump Day Monday is back. Yes, that's right. Hump Day Monday's back. Starting today, we'll have a series for like 12 weeks or so, depending on how it goes, how responsive you are, and let's get started, shall we? The first question comes from Marcos Jose Ramos, and his question is, when does Season 2 Hump Day Monday start? Today? Yes! Okay, so it is an important question because it let me know that y'all were waiting. If nobody cared that Hump Day Monday Season 1 went away, why would we do a Hump Day Monday Season 2? But y'all loved it, I loved it, so let's do it. Let's start off with a simple question. Juan Matias asked, what does oh my goodness mean? But oh my goodness doesn't mean anything. What Juan wants to say is oh my goodness, oh my gosh, oh my god, and all those other expressions. So what does it mean? Most of you know it's like an expression of shock, like, ah, Dios mío. Okay, so what are the common expressions like that? Oh my goodness. I say that one a lot. Oh my gosh. I say that one a lot. Oh my god. I try not to say that one. It just sounds a little funny to use God like that, although I do use God like that. I do say oh my god, but I don't prefer to. Some more expressions to express shock are holy shit. That one's a little vulgar. Holy cow. That one's like not vulgar at all. Still a little religious though. And holy crap. Holy crap is the toned down. Holy crap is the toned down version of holy shit. Like shit is mierda and crap is like caca. Okay, so let's repeat those expressions of shock. Oh my goodness, say it with me. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh my god, I won the lottery. Holy crap. Holy shit. Holy cow. Thank you, Juan Matias, for that question. The next Hump Day Monday question comes from Kristen Cuevas Vallejo. I hope I said it right. Oh. And it is, how do you express something like me duele la cabeza in English? But his question was about his finger, but I thought it was more simple to explain with head. Okay, and basically in Spanish you would say la cabeza or el dedo, but in English you're going to have to use the possessive pronoun, okay? So you say my head hurts, not the head hurts me. That's Spanish structure. So we say my head hurts. Oh, my head hurts. My head is killing me. Gosh, my head's hurting. I'd say it like that. Gosh, my head's hurting. Hurting. That was another question that I'm not gonna cover, but I might say something right now about it, just a little. We don't really pronounce those G's on the end unless we're trying to stress what we're saying, like, and stress it really strong, like, my head is hurting. That still doesn't even sound right. So just those G's on the end, y'all can just forget they're there in spoken English. Write them, don't speak them. Thank you, Christian, for the question. The next question comes from two guys, Rodrigo and William, alright? And their problem is like a lot of English and foreign language learners' problems. It goes as this. Cuando me hablan no entiendo nada. Pero lo escrito, sí puedo leer y también puedo escribir. Why can't you understand? ¿Por qué no entiendes cuando te hablo en inglés? Es porque no has escuchado lo suficiente, posiblemente, o lo has estado escuchando inglés demasiado difícil para ti, ¿ok? Cuando escuches el inglés, que si no entiendes nada, es como escuchar el Chinese o el Russian, es que entra y sale y no aprendes nada. Entonces, lo que tienes que hacer es escuchar inglés que ya entiendes más o menos. Aunque sea muy básico, programas para niños o algo así. Así empecé yo en español. Empecé con Bob Esponja. Antes de ver Bob Esponja en español, yo no pude hablar español, te lo juro. Y después de que terminé casi todos los episodios de Bob Esponja, ya entendía español. Todavía no podía hablar muy bien, pero entendía. Y eso es lo importante. Y después de que entiendes y escuchas mucho más inglés, como dice Cami, vas a aprender y vas a poder entender, ¿ok? Entonces, si no entiendes el inglés hablado, pero sí entiendes el inglés escrito, lo que necesitas hacer es escuchar inglés fácil, o sea, lo que tú entiendas. Y además necesitas escuchar, no sé, este programa, lo que sea, una canción, un programa de televisión fácil, o si tu nivel es más avanzado, pues un nivel más avanzado de no sé qué. Lo que quiero decir es que tienes que escuchar nada más este programa para tener la repetición. Porque, por ejemplo, en Bob Esponja siempre repetía las mismas frases y así aprendí. Si yo hubiera mirado, no sé, como cualquier cosa en la tele, para aprender español hubiera estado perdida, ¿ok? Porque no tenía nada con la repetición, o sea, con las noticias, y con no sé qué, soap operas, y todo eso de la tele. O sea, no puedes solamente meterte en el inglés, necesitas meterte en algo específico en inglés. Y escuchar, ¿ok? Varias veces, muchas veces, un montón de veces. Eso es tan importante que no lo puedo decir no lo puedo decir las veces que necesito decirlo. Okay, it's so important. You listen to English that you like, que a ti te gusta. A mí me encanta Bob Esponja. You have to like it, okay? And you have to understand it. Si estás viendo un programa y no entiendes nada de nada, pues es demasiado difícil para ti y tienes que bajar tu nivel si quieres mejorar tu inglés. Otra cosita, si realmente quieres aprender inglés y quieres mejorar así rapidito, ve el mismo episodio al menos 3 veces de cualquier cosa que veas, ¿ok? Do it. I promise you, this is the best thing you can do to improve your English listening skills and spoken English, okay? I promise. Once you understand English, you'll eventually, not too far down the road, but you'll eventually start to produce English naturally. And it's so cool. Okay, thank you, Rodrigo and William, for this question. All right, our next question comes from Juan Matias again. He's a very active Hump Day Mondayer. Thank you, Juan. And he wants to know, what's the difference in, like, everyone and everybody and anyone, anybody, and somebody and someone, and all those type of things, and nobody and no one. Well, basically, one is more formal than the other, but they're so close that it doesn't even matter. So, basically, everybody means everyone. Anybody means anyone. Somebody means someone, and nobody means no one. Just notice the only real thing to note is that nobody is written together, and no one is written as two words. Probably because it has two, like an O here and an O there. So we keep it separate so it doesn't look funny. Anyway, they're basically the same. I think the ones with one are more formal. And the ones with body are less formal. Alright? Thank y'all. Thank you, Juan. Next Hump Day Monday question comes from Felipe Vargas, and he'd like to know, what's the difference in kind, sort, and type? Well, basically kind, sort, and type, you know, they all mean like tipo, you know, but they also have other meanings. So let's look at those. Kind of and sort of can both be used to mean like somewhat, like más o menos, like I'm somewhat frustrated that my video failed. Yes, YouTube, do you hear me? I'm frustrated. I'm kind of frustrated, and I'm sort of frustrated. You can't say I'm type of frustrated. That doesn't make sense. So kind of and sort of can be used to mean somewhat or rather. I've got to go read my notes on it because I forgot what else I was supposed to say. Be right back. BRB. Alright, so I had to go look up what I was going to tell you, and this is it. So some people will explain it to you like like type and kind and sort mean slightly different things, but I like to disagree with those people. They may mean different things, but it's so vague that you just can't tell what you're talking about. Hold on. Let me give you an example. For example, what kind of car do you drive? What type of car do you drive? And what sort of car do you drive? So when I ask those questions, you don't really know how to answer. You don't know if I'm talking about, like, if I say, what kind of car do you drive? Am I referring to the make of your car? Like, is it a Chevy, a Dodge, a Jeep? You know, like, that's the make of it, like, the company who makes it. If I say, what kind of car do you drive? I could also be talking about the make, so, or what type of car. But we could also be talking about, like, do you drive a car? Do you drive a van? Do you drive a station wagon? Like, there are too many different things to know what you're asking for. Therefore, what native speakers do when we ask a question that we know can be answered in different ways, we just give examples at the end of the question. So, if I want to know what make car you drive, I'll ask you like this. It doesn't matter if I use type, sort, or kind. All that matters is my examples at the end. And that's how you'll know how to answer me. What kind of car do you drive? Chevy, Dodge, Jeep. So you know what I'm looking for. You know I'm not wanting you to just tell me that you drive a two-door car. I'm wanting to know who made your car. Who's it by? You know, if I ask you, what kind of car do you drive? Do you drive a big car or a little car, two-door car, sports car, family car? You know, so therefore, by giving those example answers, gosh, this is hard to explain. By giving those example answers, the listener will know how to respond to the speaker. All right, who asked that? Felipe? Thank you, Felipe, for this question. One other way we can use kind of, sort of, and type of is with some in front of it. Like, we ate some kind of pasta, but I don't know what it was. We ate some sort of pasta, but I don't know what it was. We ate some type of pasta, but I don't know what it was. So some type, some sort, some kind is like, comimos algún tipo de pasta, pero no sé qué fue. Right? I think so. Alright, thank you, Felipe, for your question. Our next and last Hump Day Monday question for this episode comes from Francisco Monzon. And the question is, what's the difference in will, going to, and shall? Well, it's a bit complicated, so let's look at this. Okay, in red here, en rojo, lo tengo como se confunden will y shall. En café, lo tengo como se confunden will and going to. Okay? So, con will se puede usar para hacer promises, threats, in formal and in legal writing. Okay? Shall can be used to make offers, suggestions, in promises, threats, formal, and also legal. So the difference basically boils down to this. Shall can be used to make offers and suggestions, and will cannot be used to make offers and suggestions. Okay? For example, you can say, shall I help you? Yeah, it sounds a bit weird, but you can say it. But you can't say, will I help you? I mean, you can say it, but that means something totally different. It's asking about the future. Will I help you? Te va a ayudar, you know? Not shall I help you? Not an offer or a suggestion, all right? So that's the main difference in will and shall. What about will and going to? Well, I've done a video on this. The main thing that gets confused with will and going to are with decisions, talking about the future and decisions that have been made. Basically, everything we say about the future is kind of like a decision. Either we've just decided it or we've already decided it in the past. If we just decide something, you use will. If you have already decided something, you use going to. For example, I'll give you an example. I just made the decision to give you an example, okay? The phone rings. That's my go-to example. The phone rings and everybody's like in the living room and somebody's got to get the phone, right? So somebody's going to say, I'll get it. They didn't know the phone was going to ring, so it wasn't like we could make that decision before. So it's a decision that was just made, all right? Going to. Now, let's say we're expecting a phone call, and therefore I can say, I'm going to answer the phone when it rings. I already made the decision. I knew the phone was going to ring, or I thought it was, and I said I was going to answer it because I wanted to. I was letting everybody know, don't even answer it, don't bother, because I'm going to. Right? All right. Thank you, Francisco, for this Hump Day Monday question. So that's it for your questions. Now, I'd like to share with you a little bit about my English. It's called Southern American English. Yeah, it's different than just regular old American English. We take things to a whole nother level. Okay, and I'm going to teach you a few common things that we say, and not everybody uses these expressions, but a lot of people do, and just about everybody understands it, okay? So, the first one is the real simple one. It's just I'ma. What's I'ma? Basically, I'ma tell you what it is. I'm going to, in real fast, normal, everyday spoken English. So, what's I'ma? I'ma tell you what it is. I'ma is a contraction of I'm going to, like it is in everyday, real spoken Southern American English. We say, I'm going to do it tomorrow. We don't have to say, I'm going to do it tomorrow even. We just put the whole thing together into one word. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Alright, what's up next? Something other. I said this in the last video I recorded, something other. That's really supposed to be something or another, but we have shortened it to just be something other. Like, I don't know what she was saying. She was saying something other about calling her dog a cat. I don't know what she was talking about. Anyway, something other. It's like when you're trying to express something and you really don't know how. Alright, I can't really explain something other, but just keep listening to me speak and you'll eventually get it. Last one is not a Southern American English expression that I use because this is like backwoods Southern. It's near nother. Alright? I was on the tractor the other day and I got soaking wet in a rainstorm, and I didn't want to get off the tractor because I wanted to deliver the load of crap or whatever I was delivering to where I was delivering it to, and I was hard-headed and I stayed on the tractor and I got completely soaking wet and it felt so good. Y'all, it's hot here. It's like humid and hot where I live, and it wasn't lightning, so I felt so good in that rain. Anyway, a guy who was helping me, he was, when we started back working after the rain shower had passed, he said, "I don't think it's gonna be near another storm coming." He didn't think there was gonna be near another storm coming. What he was saying in, what is it called? Standard English, was he didn't think that there was going to be another storm coming. So you can use near another. I don't know where it comes from. I tried to research it, but I didn't find much on the internet about near another, you know. Alright. So that's a little bit of my English. I love English. I love teaching you English. And I especially love sharing my real Southern English with you. You know, I don't really recommend you use it, but it's just cool to know. Alright, that's this episode of Hump Day Monday. Please share this video. Comparte este video, por favor. Y también déjame tu comentario, lo que quieres aprender la semana que viene. You know, just whatever you want to learn. I want to hear from you. I'm gonna write you back this time. That's something I'm gonna change. I'm gonna start commenting back to all your wonderful comments. I learned from my therapist that I have some anxiety issues, and that was keeping me from commenting back to y'all. So I'm gonna fight the anxiety. I'm gonna comment back because I care about you, and I want you to know that I care about you. You know, it just must suck to leave a comment and never get a response back. I know, but I'm gonna start commenting back. So leave me your comment, share this video, and please thumbs up. Mwah, mwah. Bye, y'all. Mwah. Love ya.